What is up, YouTube? Welcome back to Big Zo TV, man. Make sure you like and subscribe. We back in the building, man. We're gonna get a little bit serious, but not too much. But we're gonna talk about this Kendrick Lamar and Drake beef, right? And we're gonna talk about how things, started to where they are now. And there's a lesson to be learned at the end of this, so I hope y'all follow me. A lot of the things about this whole thing that has kind of come to my attention and kind of woke me up a little bit when looking at this beef is a lot of people are sitting back and they're talking about, how we got these two men pit against each other and we're all sitting here and enjoying the show and we like to see two people tear each other down. But I think this really is a different type of scenario, right? Because when you look at this whole beef, Kendrick Lamar, we all know his background. Even if you want to say he wasn't out there doing any type of gangster shit or putting in any work, whatever the case may be, none of that matters because he's from the block. And then we switch over to the other side where we have a kid in Drake who didn't grow up in those same circumstances, right? And it's not to say that he had the best life because I don't really know his upbringing 100%, but we do know that he comes from a middle class family, right? So a lot of the traumas that Kendrick can talk about, Drake cannot. And you might be asking yourself, why are you saying this? Well, the reason why I'm saying this is because when you really dig deep into this whole situation, I've sat back and I've watched, old videos from Kendrick, watching his come up, watching how he eventually made it to where he is, right? And I've watched videos from Drake. And when you watch videos from Drake and you see his upbringing and the things that he's been, nothing in those videos shows you mob ties. Nothing shows you Drake that can push the button. Nothing shows you Drake that's connected.
The guys at our school, instead of addressing people like the group, like saying what are you guys doing? Say man's like you. It's really weird. Yeah. So man's like you are going to that, and then just means like the group.
Crew. That's interesting.
It's not. It's really ignorant.
You see a kid named Aubrey who grew up in a middle class family setting. I could talk about my upbringing. I could talk about people around me. There was struggles. And when you come from those struggles, man, you grow up and you want to get out. You feel me? The things that I would do when I was younger, the things that I would get in trouble for when I was younger are not the things that I want to do today. Because at some point you get to a spot where you see a way out, you take the way out. And that's what you can see in Kendrick, Fortunately, hip-hop has been a thing that has allowed him to provide for his family and provide for his kids, right? And the same for Drake. You're in a space right now where you can provide for your kids, you can provide for your family, you can provide for generations. But for some reason, it's like he wants to be connected to the streets, but not indulge in the street, but just be connected in the streets to the point where you can brag about having mob ties and brag about having these guys behind you. The whole situation with the bodyguard getting shot in front of his house, media trying to spin it and ask stupid questions like, do you think that Kendrick Lamar situation had anything to do with this? Listen, the only person responsible for Drake's bodyguard getting shot is Drake. And hear me out when I say this. Drake is a kid who grew up in a middle class family. Drake never had to be in any shootouts. Drake didn't have to look out for no gangs. But as he got his fame, got the money, got everything he needed to be able to take care of his family, now all of a sudden, you miss the tough guy. You want to be tough guy. You want to scream out, I got ties to this. I got ties to that. Push a button for this. The enemies that you accumulated by trying to be this guy that runs everything and feeling like you can do anything you want. We all heard about Drake and his bodyguards and the way they moved through Toronto. You made that happen because you brought this thing to light. You brought this to you. Now you have a guy who reported to work to be your bodyguard to protect you, and he's in the middle of this because of you. So that's one thing you gotta hold. And that's one of the things about this situation that kind of bothers me a little bit because I watch his upbringing and nothing signifies any of that. And this is why, when you read Kendrick's lyrics, you see Kendrick always mentioning, being extorted and all this other stuff because at the end of the day, you're a money grab. And, people would tell you, when you dabbling in the hood, you gotta feed the wolves. And yes, that may be true. There's a different kind of way that you feed the wolves. And the way Drake is feeding the wolves, you're feeding them from a place that you never been. You never been in the den. So you don't know how it works. So if you haven't heard, the rumor that's been going around is that UMG tried to save Drake, basically. It says from an insider waiting on the proof in the form of documents, blah, blah, blah. PG Lang, Kendrick, and Weeknd were asked by Universal Music Group to end the beef with Drake. Kendrick apparently isn't budging at all, but UMG is pressing hard on their request to squash the beef. Now it goes on to say that they had Zoom meetings with all the parties involved, and they want Kendrick to either directly or through PG Lang post a statement clarifying that Drake isn't a pedophile if Kendrick agrees to end the beef. Now, you ask yourself, why would they butt in and say something now? Why would they do it now? I mean, because if we look at it, they had plenty of time, right? They had plenty of time to say something. They had plenty of time to butt in. They had plenty of time to say nothing. It's because the records were generating revenue, right? And it's with anything. When you start to mess with the money, that's when things get a little shaky, right? So with the revenue being touched, it becomes a problem. The thing that people are missing here is the reason why this is a problem now is because no one expected Kendrick to do this much damage. Think about Drake is a money grab. Drake is the guy. Talk about how successful Drake is, talk about all that stuff, but the truth of the matter is Drake makes money for other executives. Hella money. And they don't want to miss that bag. They don't want to miss out on that bag. So Drake is, they are trying to save Drake because even if you're a Drake fan right now, I don't care if you DJ Academics, you have to admit that Drake has lost. And I see Academics on a tour going to all these people platforms and trying to defend Drake and trying to make all these excuses. Like, bro, look at this dude, man. This is
for both artists. When Kendrick drops Like That was a response to a song called First Versus Shooter. He drops Like That. Drake has never ducked a battle. He's always been there, right? Everyone's like, it's been like 2 weeks. Drake didn't say anything. Everyone says he's scared. This is what I'm saying, changing the rules. Okay, Drake drops. It's 2 weeks now. We're waiting for Kendrick. Yo, chill out. Yo, he just takes a while to cook. Like, what people think about both artists doing the same thing. Just taking time to create music.
I thought Kendrick was ducking, and I was annoyed at Kendrick. And I'm a Drake hater, but I'm also not like a Kendrick slurper.
But also, look at...
Bro, slurper was crazy, bro. You ain't really have to use that, but...
Kendrick put blatant lies on some of the records.
Didn't Drake too?
Yes.
Well,
Drake started.
Yeah, we got it.
See, and this is what I can't stand with Act, bro. This is what I can't stand with Act. It's like they literally just said this to you, and I watch him try to explain why it's okay. Like, bro, what?
I'm not sure if Drake started.
The J free shit?
Yeah, that came afterwards. That came after the whole you have a kid.
Oh, okay. So what was the first? So every
No, push-ups. He takes a subtle jab.
His
oh
bodyguard.
yeah, Whitney and the
Whitney's
bodyguard.
bodyguard.
No, that's a play off words. There's
Come
actual
on,
movie
bro.
called
Stop
Act.
it.
Stop it. No. That's him.
I didn't know you compromised.
No.
Yo, Act can't even hide it, bro. Like, he going on a whole tour to try to defend this man. But whatever, man. I digress. I saw this man on a stream yesterday, streaming for hours, playing Drake's music, trying to decipher the lyrics. We're past that. The beef is done, right? And they're trying to save face and they're trying to save Drake. Now, it goes on to say Drake is losing the beef in UMG's eyes. So from UMG's perspective, the sooner this beef ends, the better. The P5 accusations directed at Drake are costing UMG, Nike, and other parties a lot of money. Now, you ask yourself, why did they think Kendrick Lamar is going to lose this battle? It's because Drake has the machine. Drake just ended up messing with the wrong person. It's like when they tell you to fuck around and find out, he found out. That's all that it boils down to. He fucked around and he found out. And now this brings Kanye's lyrics back tenfold because Kanye already mentioned it. And it makes you see how when Kanye came out of his record, they blocked it. When he came out with the remix, they blocked it. Like, the powers to be are stepping in here because they want to protect the money. Everybody know Drake has that $400. Everybody know Drake has that 400 million UMG deal, lifetime deal. And we know they don't want to miss out on that bread. And like I said, it comes back to Kanye, man. Kanye said this from the beginning. He spoke about the lifetime deal. He spoke about Lucien. And look who's coming to save Drake in this situation. And, there's also reports now that Kendrick Lamar's song is the biggest song right now. The biggest. So, I mean, it is what it is. This is where we are. So there's so much to unpack, man. There's so much to, pay attention to here, but don't let the media sway you. I advise you all to just do your own research. Look into things, man, because we all know at this point, they're going to really try whatever they can do to save Drake in this situation. Do whatever they can to get him out of this mess. Listen, Kendrick Lamar brought this to the light when he dissed those boys on Like That, right? Now, if you're gonna say Kendrick started it, right? Drake responded. Now, when Drake responded, Drake sat there the whole entire time antagonizing Kendrick. When you gonna drop? I've been waiting. I ain't hear nothing yet. Drop. drop. He spent that whole entire time doing this, only to now be in this space where when the whole world is against you because you clearly lost, now you want them to come and save you. Now it's like, oh, can we back up off Drake? Can we back up off him and end the beef? If Kendrick agrees to end the beef, can we put out a message? Hell to the fuck no. And I really, really hope that Kendrick does not fold and do such a thing, because for once the culture is behind you, right? Rather than someone who's just the popular choice being ahead. It's about time that the culture gets some say so, right? So I mean, it is what it is. I'm not gonna beat this down too much, because at the end of the day, we know what this is about. We know what's going on. We know what they doing. But I digress. This is where we are at the Drake situation. Obviously, Kendrick Lamar has won. No amount of interviews and sit-downs Act does to try to convince people will convince people that Drake has won this. And the fact that all this is happening and he's sitting back here still trying to spin this is crazy. And it just shows you he wants something in return after this. And he'll get something in return. You know, he'll get something. And I don't want to know what it is. But listen, it is what it is, man. With that, let me know how y'all feel about this whole situation. Let me know how you feel about everything that's transpired. Let me know who you think won this. Let me know in the comment section, man. You already know what it is. It's your boy Goods, Big Zo TV. Let's go.